West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Paint Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison, my life, I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to problem. With step, I'm silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss. Ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be low to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why it exists to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Started out of 1 West, Harlem, New York. Under commanding General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? And the school, you understand, was established in 1969. Okay? That's how long this truth, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, our captivity here in the West, you know what I'm saying, that's when it began, 1969. Any other group, you know what I'm saying, or what have you, you know what I'm saying, we are not affiliated with it because this is the root, this is the original tree. Anything else any fruit that broke off, any branch that broke off, you know what I'm saying? We're not affiliated with that. You know what I'm saying? This is the original school. This is the work of the Lord, man, under Convention of Johanna, man, right here, man, the ISUPK. You understand? And today is the Wednesday night law class. You understand? And we're going to go ahead and clap it up. Man, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, we should have like a lot of gratitude, man. And, you know what I'm saying, just be grateful for the fact, that the Lord provided, a refuge for us in this hell that we living in, man.
Right.
You understand? Because a nation is built up of a group of families together, man, working together towards a common goal. But right now, man, our families, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian family is under attack. You understand? And it's under attack from the inside, man. You know what I mean? It's definitely being attacked from the outside. You know what I mean? The choices for death are in front of us. We have abortion clinics, you know what I'm saying, in Black and Hispanic, you know what I'm saying, Native Indian neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? We have the gun stores in our neighborhoods. We have the corner stores selling, you know what I'm saying, cigarettes and blunt wraps and all the things that are available to destroy us, man. But what's worse than that is that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us we're sleeping with the enemy. And what I mean by that is, man, is the black and Hispanic woman, man. You understand? That's the greatest. That's from our oppressor has weaponized our women against Black men, man. You understand? And it's an unfortunate thing, because you can't build a nation unless you're in order, unless you have structure. You understand? And the Black woman, the Hispanic woman, the Native Indian woman, you know what I'm saying, they were designed to help us build, you understand, our people, man. You understand? To help us. They were designed to help us build up our nation, because women are the first teachers of culture. You understand? And I find it interesting that Cardi B's daughter, his name is Culture. I find that kind of like odd. You know what I'm saying? And supposedly she's supposed to be coming out with some type of new song. I seen a preview, man, and as usual, you know what I'm saying, she was scantily dressed, you know what I'm saying, trench coat with some lingerie beneath, you know what I mean, trying to launch a new campaign for whatever new song she intends to drop. But if y'all remember, man, you know what I'm saying, there was a little Instagram live she did where she was playing the song WAP, and her daughter Culture came in and she quickly turned the song off. And I thought that was telling, man, you know what I'm saying? Because she was concerned about the impact of her daughter being exposed to that type of wickedness, man, that type of knowledge at that age. But clearly has no problem getting rich off of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women buying that music and playing it around their children. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, each family is responsible for how they raise their children. But all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should be raising their children according to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. According to these laws, man.
Right.
You understand? But right now, we're in a fight not just with our oppressor, but we're in a fight in our households as well with our women. Because our women don't understand that how they conduct themselves, how they operate, how they move, how they speak. You know what I'm saying? It's governed by laws. Black men, you know what I'm saying? Black men in this society are held accountable for everything, man. Everything is on our shoulders, man. Black men aren't doing this. Black men need to do this. Black men need to take care of this. Black men need to step up and show leadership. Black men need to protect Black women. How often do we hear about what our women need to be doing? How often do we hear, you know what I'm saying, what steps our women need to take to better our families? to better our children. You understand? We really don't hear that, man. Because I'm going to tell you why. It's because, like I said, our women, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women have been weaponized against the black man. And it's a result, you know what I'm saying, it's a result really, man, of pride. That's what it comes down to, man. It's pride, man. It's pride and it's ambition. And it's as old as the garden. You understand? It's as old as the garden, man. Go to Genesis 3. You know what I'm saying? This dilemma that we're in is as old as the garden, man. What we're experiencing right now in 2021 with Joe Biden in office and black people in an uproar, you know what I'm saying, and overjoyed that Trump is out of office and Joe Biden coming in with, you know what I mean, Chameleon Harris, you understand? And, you know, like I read an article today. In fact, I'm going to have you read this article, man. Hold on one second. I'm going to have you read this article, man, real quick. Let me find this, man. Yeah, man, but black people are we're falling for the same tricks, man, that we fell for in the beginning. You understand? And, you know, that's why, you know what I'm saying, in Romans where it says that the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, man. It's important that we take the time to look at what happened to our people before, our forefathers, and learn from that. You know what I'm saying? And make the adjustments, man. You understand? One second. Let me pull this up. Here we go. All right here. Just read this right here. Let's read that right there, man. Where it says CNN. Yeah.
A majority of Americans in a new survey believe black people, women, as well as gay and lesbian people will gain influence during Joe Biden's presidency.
Right. It says that that in a new poll that they believe that they put black people at the head of the list, are going to gain influence in Joe Biden's presidency, which is it's a lie. But it's something that it's a lie that we go for, man. We go for the same tricks that were threw on us, you understand, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 40 years ago. We don't get tired of the lies, man, because we don't want to live with the truth. You understand? And a lot of this movement, you know what I'm saying, that got Joe Biden in office, you know what I'm saying, an aspect of that, at least politically, was the Black Lives Matter movement, which is a movement that was created by mostly black women. You understand? And these were women that were lesbian black women. You understand? And, you know, it's like I say, it's heavy, man. Our oppressor has been using our women since time memorial to work against our people, man, to work against the work of the Lord. Which is why this law class is so important, because in order for us to gain what the Lord is trying to give us, we all have a role to play. We all have a position that we need to play. You understand? But where the issue comes in is where we feel like we want to operate outside of the role that the Lord gave us. And we start wanting to redefine the roles that the Lord gave us. I've seen a lot of black women, you know what I'm saying, upset, you know, on the book about transgender or transgenders or men who are transitioning from men to women that are competing in female sports. I've seen a lot of posts from black women about that. Like, they're very upset. Like, you know, it'll be articles about, like, say it's like wrestling or rugby or boxing. You understand? And it'll be men transitioning into women to fight women. And and I understand the reaction. I understand I get it. I get why that can bother women, because they feel like, man, it's men coming in to act like us to hurt us. But what you don't understand is black women, Hispanic women, Native Indian women, is that truthfully, the oppressor did that with Christianity. The oppressor did that with the feminist movement. You understand? Where we're at right now, we didn't just arrive here. We got to this point over a period over a progression of time, over a period of time that led us up to this point. First and foremost, as far as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, our daughters shouldn't be in male contact sports anyway. They shouldn't be participating in sports that deal with combat or that level of competitiveness where there's physical contact and fighting amongst each other. Our daughters are supposed to be raised up as princesses, man. You understand? You don't see princesses out wrestling and fighting each other. That's what men do to learn how to defend their nation, to defend their people. That's not for young girls. So now look how this works. We let our children, our daughters, get into these kind of activities in sports, and then the white man passes a law that allows men to get into those sports to fight and to hurt our daughters. This is, if when you read the law, it says that that a woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man. That word man in the Hebrew is gabar. Okay? And it's talking about a warrior. It means that like a woman should not put on a warrior's apparel because the fighting is not for her. The fighting is for the men. You understand? And because we feel like we got all these options, we feel like we got all these choices, we're taking on the philosophies of the societies that we have nothing to do with. The culture of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is found in these scriptures. It's found in this Bible, man. You understand? It's not found in these other nations. If these other nations want to go and put their women in these contact sports, so be it. Let them do that. But for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we were called to be holy, man. We were called to be separate. We were called to be different. And that's the problem, man, is that our people, we just continue to fall into this pattern of dismissing what the Lord says and doing whatever like the trend is of the day. You understand? Like whatever's popular. And then what happens is we get ourselves in a position to where we lose our protection and then we want to cry out. And it's so heavy, man. Like the situation with Chad Wheeler, and I forget what the sister's name is. Chad Wheeler, the Seahawks, I think he's an offensive lineman, you know what I'm saying, who beat one of our sisters, you know what I mean, almost to death. And when she woke up out of like her beaten induced coma, she ran to the bathroom and this devil said to her, "You're alive? Wow, you're alive?" While drinking a smoothie. You understand? That's the beast that we're dealing with. But now listen, of course, it pains us as a people to see that happen to our sister. But the Lord said that we're not supposed to deal with them. We're not supposed to give our daughters to them in marriage, nor our sons to their daughters, man. You understand? The Lord already gave out a law saying that could protect us from that kind of a situation.
Right.
But we want to disregard the Lord's. We want to disregard the Lord's laws, man. We don't want to take what he says to with any type of weight or take it seriously. We take it with a grain of salt. The same way how we take, the not eating pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster. Oh, the Lord ain't worried about your diet or what you eat. There's bigger things. What you mean, like white men beating up on their black girlfriends? Is that a bigger issue? You mean like men turning themselves into women, but still retaining the strength of a man and getting into female competitive sports and hurting those women? Is that an issue that the Lord's concerned about? See, the scriptures say that he who is faithful in a small thing will be faithful in big things. Our people spend a lot of time, and it's very Christian, dismissing what we feel like are small commandments, but then feel like, oh, it's the big things that the Lord's worried about. No, the Lord is worried about all of it. Because he's a wise power. He knows that if you disregard this small thing, you'll disregard the big thing in time as well. Because the whole point is that you don't have any fear of the Lord, man. You understand? And for our sisters out there, man, what we see right now in the current culture is women are looking for attention. And I'm not even sure if I'm not even sure if our women understand why they're looking for attention. Like it's almost like you guys are we're seeing our women, do certain things, and I ask myself when I look at it, I'm like, okay, what are they looking for? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, she's a whore, she's a slut, you know what I mean? She's for the streets. Okay, that's easy, but what is driving and motivating our women to conduct themselves how they're conducting themselves? What has placed our women in a state to where they're ashamed to be mothers? They're ashamed to be wives. They're more okay with having a child than they are being a baby's mother than they are being a wife. How do we get to this point? I'm gonna tell you how. Go ahead and Genesis 3 and 1.
Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Right. This is talking about, you know what I'm saying, our enemy, the oppressor. He's more subtle and deceptive than any beast of the field. In the scriptures, the beast referred to the other nations. You understand? The nations that we're surrounded by. Okay? And out of these nations, this serpent is the most subtle, the most deceptive, the most deceiving. You understand? One of the cleverest. Okay? Keep reading.
Come on. Which the Lord God had made.
Right.
And he said unto the woman.
He said unto the who?
And he said unto the woman.
No, he spoke to the man.
And he said unto the woman.
Our enemy, the oppressor, he goes for our women first. Because he knew he couldn't get at the man first. Because the between men, there's always how do I put it, man? There's a low threat level of violence between all men. That's why as men, we deal with each other in a certain kind of way. You don't see a lot of men like going back and forth and arguing or getting loud and saying too many things because we know where it can go. But see, in this culture, man, women feel like women have been protected, as far as by the system and by the state, to whereas they don't fear violence like that. That's why our women tend to go off. A woman could be 5'1", talking to a man that's 6'8", 300 pounds. You mother effer this, and you son of a bitch, you know what I mean, going off at him. Whereas, he could easily just throw her against the wall, knock her head against the wall, man, and have her unconscious. You understand? But she has no fear because in this culture, women are protected in that sense. To whereas all men are taught, don't put your hands on a woman, which is fine. But what I'm saying is that there's no respect there. There's no fear there. Between men, it's not saying that men are afraid of each other, but we're less likely to take it there because we know where it can go. Whereas, because we know that there's a consequence, there can be some accountability for what's coming out your mouth. Somebody's going to be held accountable. You understand? But with our women, they're not held to that standard. So they tend to just, run off at the mouth. You understand? But he went to the woman because, as the scriptures say, she's the weaker vessel. And what does that mean? Because don't nobody want to hear that they're weak, right? Nobody wants to be called weak. Nobody wants to feel like, okay, I'm the weaker vessel. Nobody wants to feel like that. And a woman will say, what you mean I'm the weaker vessel? I pushed out 3 of your kids. I was in labor for 17 hours. How am I weak? I carried that baby for 9 months. Weak? I got 2 jobs. I'm dealing with these children, cooking dinner. How am I weak? That's not what it's talking about, sister. It's not talking about, what you do around the house and your ability to multitask. What it's talking about is your mindset. It's your emotions. It's the fact that a woman would rather hear what makes her feel good than to hear the truth. You understand? And I'm gonna let the scripture speak. Go ahead, warrior.
Come. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
And you know what's interesting about this? This serpent, he was subtle. He asked her, hath God said, right? In the Hebrew, that means the Elohim, the power, right? Has the power said what?
Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
He had her to re-examine what she had been told. What she had been instructed upon. He had her to rethink it. Isn't that what's going on right now? Prior to when we came up out of slavery, going into Jim Crow, black families, first of all, the marriage rate was over 80% amongst black men and black women. We were getting married during the time of Jim Crow, during the time of the lynchings and the massacres. We were getting married because all we had was each other. We had to stick together. You understand? We knew who our enemy was. We knew that we were being oppressed by this same serpent, by this same devil. But then what comes in, man, is the abolitionist movement, right? White people trying to creep in and act as if they care about what we've been going through. And then through that abolitionist movement, then you had the white woman who felt like, for a moment that she was being oppressed by her man, and then tried to tell black women that they were being oppressed too, when black men never had any power to oppress black women. We were both being oppressed by the same devil.
Right.
And then they brought in this women's suffrage movement, man, and got black women to be the engine behind it, which is what they always do, man. If you want something to move, go get black women. They're going to push that thing forward, man. With that, because there's a certain level of tenacity and a survival mechanism in our women. They're gonna find out a way to get it done. Okay. Right now, if you look if you look 9 times out of 10, you look at the employment rosters, right? As far as like bill collectors, people who actually make phone calls to try to collect on debts, or customer service, right? Who do they have mostly in part doing this? It's black women. Because there's a certain because they don't mind you weaponizing that they don't mind weaponizing the spirit that they've changed our women into for their benefit. So they put you in those call centers. They put you with the little mics and stuff on your head to go ahead and try to reconcile accounts and whatnot, right? And the crazy part is that you come home to your husband or to your man with that same aggressive energy. You understand what I'm trying to say? The serpent is subtle, man. He's weaponized our women against us. So we have to fight him out here in his society, and then go home and to where we should be in rulership and things should be in order, and then fight our women too. And he knows that. So that's what the serpent does, man. In order for him to disrupt the authority of who the Lord chose, which is black Hispanic and Native Indian men, he has to go to the woman, man. Because you can't have a nation unless you have ordered families. And if a family's out of order, man, then the nation is out of order. You understand? Keep reading, warrior.
Okay. Verse 2. Mm-hmm. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3.
But hold on, but I want you to go ahead and hold on. Let me get this real quick because I want to show y'all something that's very important, man. In this conversation, he went to the woman, but the thing is that he asked her. He said, "Hath God said?" Right? But did God have the conversation with Eve about this trees and the fruit in the garden? Is that who told her about how this thing was working? Let's see real quick, man. Go to Genesis 2 verse 7. You understand? And we're gonna run back to that in a second.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Right. The Lord took Adam what I'm saying? A black man from a low state. He took him out of a low condition where he didn't have, he didn't have the knowledge to rule at this time. So the Lord chose Adam and pulled him out of that low condition and out of the dust. Keep going.
Okay. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
He gave Adam the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the breath of life is. You understand? The breath of life was the knowledge to put things in order. You know what I'm saying? That's what the law, statutes, and commandments are. It's order. It's structure. You understand? Everybody living around Adam at the time walked after their own imagination and did only what they knew at that time. The Lord gave Adam the ability to judge and to rule, to separate, to call this clean, that unclean. You know what I'm saying? To know how to deal with his power. Keep reading.
Okay. And man became a living soul.
He became a living soul. He understood how things were supposed to go. He understood how to run the shop. Okay? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 9. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree.
You skip verse 8?
Oh, Salakia. Verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden.
Right.
And there he put the man whom he had formed.
Right. So after the Lord taught Adam, okay, he put him in a position to govern. Okay, and that was this area, this garden. Okay, all right. Keep reading.
Verse 9. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food.
Right.
The tree of life also in the midst of the garden.
Right.
And the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Right. Drop down to verse 15.
Okay. Verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
Right. So the Lord gave Adam the order to dress this garden and to order it, to put it in order, to organize it. Okay. Same way you have a CEO of a company, he organizes the company, whatever that company's job is or service is. He organizes the company. He puts people in positions of authority, assigns them certain departments, and we got a question real quick. This is Trooper Kassiad. He asks, if I may, is that when he became the second Adam? That's not the case. The second Adam is dealing with Christ. Okay, the scriptures say that the first Adam became a living soul, and the second Adam was a quickening spirit. What that means is that, to keep it short, and I'll check in with the men above me as well, you know what I'm saying, is that Adam received the life. He received the life, which we know is the commandments. We know that Christ said, when that young man came to Christ and he said, how may I gain eternal life? And Christ said, if you would enter into life, then keep the commandments. Okay, so Adam received that. He received the commandments. He received that life. Christ became a quickening spirit. Okay, he was able to give that life. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right now in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, we are raising men from the dead, which is why we say Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. In the authority of Christ, who is a quickening spirit, we raise the dead as well as he raised the dead.
Right.
You understand? So during the time of Adam was given the law, statutes, and commandments, but it wasn't given for the other beasts of the field, these other nations. You understand? It was strictly for the sons of Adam. This is why in the scriptures, when you see in Genesis, it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. That's a classification change, or not change, Salakia. That's a classification difference. The children of Adam, they were who it was the life was passed down to. You understand? Only them. And I'm not saying that right now that this knowledge is for everybody, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? Salvation is for Israel. So I don't want to come off as if I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is that Adam was only passing that down through his sons and through his children. Okay? Whereas Christ, you know what I'm saying, through Christ's knowledge, even though we're scattered across the four corners, once we're raised up and given that life, we've been authorized to give that life to those abroad, scattered abroad. So, brother, I hope that answered your question. We're gonna get back to this lesson. And like I said, if y'all have any questions in the chat, feel free to go ahead and type them in. Trooper Cassiar, let me know if that answered what you was talking about, man. Did I say that answer this question?
I'm waiting on the comments.
What that say right there? After what did he say?
After getting the breath of life.
After getting the breath of life. Like I said, man. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that for you, just to go ahead and the precept on that. No sweat. Okay. Give me 1 Corinthians 15:45. Let's see. Did he answer? Oh, that answered your question? Okay, so you said Khan Khan, the water, sir. I was thinking regeneration. No, Christ was Adam, and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get too heavy off into that particular subject right now. Christ was Adam. He was regenerated, but the first Adam became a living soul. Christ was a quickening spirit. Christ is able to raise us from the dead, not just from a physical, not just from a spiritual standpoint, but physically as well. You understand? That's why it talks about that the dead in Christ are going to rise first. So this is a whole nother level of authority. Okay. So let's go ahead and get back to where we was at. Where was we at?
Genesis 3:15.
Was it 2? No, I think we was at 2.
2:7.
No, 2:15. So right. So the Lord put Adam in the garden to put it in order and to organize it. Okay. You know what I mean? Because at that time there was no discretion. There was no, like I said, people were doing whatever. Like, for instance, the Lord let Adam know what was clean, what was unclean. You understand? What was okay to eat, what was not okay to eat. You understand? At that time, they could have been eating horses instead of understanding that, hey, I could use this horse and travel 100 miles and go in this direction instead of eating the horse. All right. He put things in order. He structured things in a way to where it brought things into order, man. Okay. So keep reading verse 16.
Verse 16. Mm-hmm. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
Right. So now, I don't want to get too heavy into this, but what this is saying is that, how do I put it? I like Chinese food, okay? But I don't eat Chinese food because I know that Chinese people use things that are unlawful. Dog, cat, and other abominable animals, things that are forbidden to us by law as Israelites, right? But now, is General Tso's chicken or sesame seed chicken, is that a bad thing? No, it's not. If an Israelite saw how the Chinese make that and made it with lawful meats, right, chicken or beef, we can eat that. It's okay for us to eat. You understand? So like those, I'm only giving you an example of food because there's other examples, okay? You know, like, how do I put it? Like, and I won't go too heavy off into it, but if another culture comes up with an idea that's useful, right? We can utilize that But our culture, what we have to stick to is the culture that the Lord gave us. If we find out a way to where a machine gets built where we could, I don't know, man, a way we could harvest food quicker, right? But another culture made it, another nation made it. We can take that and utilize that for our goals and what we're trying to do. But we don't take on their belief systems, though. You understand? If say it was an East Indian and like they worship Krishna and 1,000 other guys with 1,000 arms and I forget the guy with the dreads. What's that, the blue guy name with the dreads? Shiva or whatever like that. We're not going to start going to their temples and stuff just because they came up with an idea that works. So my point is the Lord is, because these trees represent other nations. The Lord is saying you can eat of the fruit of these trees, right? He's letting them know it's okay for you to go ahead and take little things from these other cultures around you, little things, not like things that deal with what the Lord, that go against the laws of the Lord. So he's letting Adam know you can. There's things that you can take. Okay, that's what this is talking about. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil,
right,
thou shalt not eat of it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. The
reason why I went back to this scripture, this precept, is because the Lord dealt with Adam, the man.
Right.
He hadn't even brought Eve into the picture yet. You understand? This is what needs to be understood, man, is that the Lord chose Adam. The Lord chose a black man for rulership. He put this man in authority. And that's who he's always put in authority is black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men. The Lord deals with us first, man. You understand? And there's not enough respect given to black men. Black, when I say black, I'm talking about Hispanic and Native Indian, because black is just a color in a crayon box and it's a condition. You understand? Those babies in the border in cages are black. You understand? Those brothers separated, those mothers and fathers separated from their families at the border, they're black. Those Native Indians on those reservations who are dying in poverty and being abused in those hospitals, you know what I'm saying? And being killed with alcohol, you know what I mean? And living in those shanty houses or whatever, they're black. So when I say black, I'm not talking about dark skin or in that context, because really we're all brown. We're different shades of brown. Okay. So when I say black, I mean the 12 tribes. Okay. Just for clarity's sake. All right. The Lord chose black men to be in charge, man, to be in authority, to be in righteous leadership. And not enough respect is given to the black man. That's why there's an all-out attack against black men, because it's who the Lord chose, man. It's who the Lord chose. And as far as our women, black women, Hispanic, Native Indian, the respect for black men needs to be restored, man. And I don't mean, and a lot of times, man, sisters, I'm not even saying that y'all don't love black men, but you love them in the way that Christians love God. And what do I mean when I say that? Or Salaki, excuse me. Let me phrase that better. That wasn't well said. Our sisters, quote unquote, love black men in the way that Christians say that they love God. That's how I should have said that. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Christians claim to love God, but they say they love him with their words, not with their actions. You understand? Or they try to love God how they feel like they want to love God. You understand? Or in a way that they feel that makes them feel good. Like, Christians love that whole prosperity doctrine, right? I love God because God got me blessed. He's looking out for me. He's holding me down. The Lord is merciful, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he leaves people here and around to give them an opportunity to change. But what happens is our people take that as like God is favoring their wicked way of living and lifestyle. So our people develop a psychological, they develop a mindset to where that because they've been living a certain way and God has been showing them mercy and sparing them, They feel like God is stamping whatever they do. Right? So our sisters, man, they feel like, well, I love black men. I love a black man. I love a black man because he's so, he's 6 foot tall, dark, chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I want him to come in and do this and be like this. And you're coming up in your head with how you feel like he should be to you. And you never ask the question, what do I need to be for him? Because the scriptures say that the woman was made for man. Man was not made for the woman. Right here, you have the Most High dealing with Adam. There's no woman in the picture. You understand? Like for you sisters who talk about, I got a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I have a real relationship with the Most High. I'm going to tell you like this, man. I'm not saying that the Lord does not deal with our sisters. But what I'm telling you is this. And this goes for all of us as a people. I can't be off to myself alone talking about I got a relationship with the Lord. My relationship with the Lord is tied directly to my relationship with my brother. You understand? This is why Christ said that inasmuch as you did it unto the least of my brethren, you've done it unto me. Okay. Your love for the Lord cannot be proven in a vacuum. Your love for the Lord cannot be proven in isolation. Your love for the black man or for your husband or for your brother cannot be proven in your own head, in your imagination. And that's where a lot of you sisters exist, in your imagination. When you're coming up as a young girl, we don't call our daughters queens, right? We call them princesses. They have stories like Snow White, Rapunzel, what's some other ones, man? Snow White, Rapunzel, Cinderella, right? The glass slipper. We feed our daughters these Disney movies, and they see a knight in shining armor or some male hero coming to save the helpless princess, right? But is that what the Lord taught us? Where do we see in the scriptures where do we see men coming to save women? I mean, I know there were a couple of situations that now that I think about the history of our people, there's a couple of situations to where we had to go do that. But overall, the Lord did not create y'all to be saved, for us to come and save you. The Lord created y'all to be submitted to your leadership and be in order. Because if you're submitted to who the Lord put in authority, which is the black man, you won't need to be saved. You're going to be protected. If you're following orders and doing what the priests and prophets tell you, there should be no reason that we have to come out and do something. I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule, extenuating circumstances, right? Things can happen. But overall, the same way how the Lord says that he sets his angels, the Elohim, around those who fear him, they encamp around the righteous. There should be no reason why you should be needing to. Black women are talking about how they're the least protected in society. I don't know how true that is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get more counsel on that. But what I do understand is that you have put yourself in a position to be the least protected by your conduct, by your lack of respect for the black man. You've put yourself in a position to where you need protection. How can you on the one hand say I'm independent, I'm gonna live life how I want to live life, I'm gonna do me, but then say you want to be protected? You want us to protect your rebellion?
Right.
So you can do what you want to do and live how you want to live. Like I hear these sisters say, it shouldn't matter how I dress. You know what I'm saying? Rape is wrong. You goddamn right. Rape is wrong. It's a crime punishable by death according to the law. But it also says for our women to dress in modest apparel. When we put to death a man who raped a woman who was in had her breast out and had a short skirt on with no panties on, we put him to death if he raped one of in the kingdom I'm talking about, not right now. You know what I'm saying? We follow the laws of the land. We follow the laws that are in this, in this hell, and we follow God's laws. So we would go through the proper channels and deal with that. But would we address a situation like that if a woman was dressed like a slut and she got raped? Yes, we would. But I'm gonna tell you like this: he's wrong, and there's a judgment for that. But sister, you're wrong too. Just because he should not be, just because a man should not be behaving in that way, right? To force himself on a woman doesn't mean that you need to be dressed in that way. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: how much more wrath and rage would the men who are assigned to protect you be in if we knew that you're conducting yourself in a way that becomes holiness, that you're fully covered, that you're fully submitted, that you follow orders? Then it's like, we're coming. We're coming either way, but it's a difference. You understand? Your child doesn't listen to you. You tell your child to be in when the street lights is off. If your child doesn't come in, and you go out there and you see your child is out there messing around and your kid is getting jumped or something like that, you're gonna rush in there and save your child and put a hurt on whoever's hurting your child. But you also gonna tell your child, didn't I tell you to be in when the street lights were on? Why are you even out there in the first place? You understand? Now, if your child came in before dark and had a black eye, you can be like, who put their hands on you? What happened? It's going to be more rage because you know your child is obedient, man. But a lot of our sisters, man, they feel like that they don't have to be held accountable for how they conduct themselves, but still want all the privileges and the rights and benefits of protection. It doesn't work like that. Okay, but back to the scriptures though. The Lord was dealing with Adam. The Lord gave Adam the instruction. So when that serpent asked the woman back in Genesis 3, he said, did God say? Who was he talking about? Who was the God that he was talking about? I'm gonna tell you, it was Adam. It wasn't the Most High came and talked to Eve about that. The Lord told Adam, Adam told Eve. Because all that power means is authority, man. Because the authority was given to Adam over her. So he to let her know, we can eat of all these trees, but this one right here, we can't touch that. Okay? So just read that for me again, brother. Verse 16.
Okay. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying...
No, he commanded the woman.
The Lord God commanded the man, saying...
No, the Lord talks to me. The Lord deals with all of us the same because, there's no male or female in Christ. We're all one.
The Lord God commanded the man.
The Lord deals with the men. And sisters, when you're dealing with the men of the Lord, I'm not talking about necessarily worldly men, even though you should still have respect for men, period. Okay? And I'm talking about, Israelite men, but especially for the men of the Lord deals with the men. And if you're dealing with the men of the Lord, you're dealing with the Lord. You're dealing with the power. Because these men have been authorized to or in authority by that power. So you're dealing with the power. It's the same for us. When we come into this truth as young men and troopers, we're told to be quiet, not to say anything. We have to dress in all black. We have to shed ourselves. Us dressing in black is like us, in a sense, it's like us going into a void. It's like us dying, right? We can't choose to walk after our own imagination at this point. I'm not gonna say, hey, today I'm gonna wear this outfit, this color. I'm in all black. That's the order that I was given. I'm shedding myself of my ability to think for myself and be wise in my own eyes. Now I'm giving that to the man above me by choice. And sisters, if y'all claim to be righteous sisters, right? How can you drink 2 cups of tea? How can you drink from the cup of the Lord's world, which is Israel, right? And then drink from the cup of our oppressor? Y'all like to mix things in sometimes, man, and you can't do that. I mean, as kids, we used to mix up the Kool-Aid packets and try to get these little different flavors out, but you can't do that with this truth, man. It's one or the other. All right? There is no in between. The Lord is not 50-50, man. Okay? You can't be I'm a strong black woman, independent black woman, but I love the Lord. That's Christianity, man. You hear me? That's Christianity. And all it leads to is confusion. Okay? So he commanded the man. Finish reading that for you.
Saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Right.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
Right. So now listen. After the Lord gave Adam these commandments, these orders, then he's like, okay, you know what? All right, it's not good for him to be alone. He going to need some help, a companion. Someone that's suitable. Right? But I'm going to tell you, sister, something, man. A lot of y'all feel like y'all are suitable and you're not. You're not. You're just not. Because I'm going to just say it's because you're selfish. You don't even think about the fact that, okay, especially, and I'm talking about for the brothers in the UPK, the men who are fine gold. All right, the Lord said He'll make a man more precious than fine gold. These are men who have given up their way of living, their way of thinking. They've given up their life and died to become a new man and to serve the Lord. And you're coming into this with the same mentality that you had when you were in the world. Okay, you do your 90 days. No, and you know what? Let me not be dismissive because I don't want to disrespect the sisters in the UPK are the rubies, man. They're the rubies, man. But what I'm saying is that it's some of our sisters, man, that come into this thing and you're bringing in the ways of the world, the understanding from the world, the expectations. See, when we come into as men, when we come into this truth, we're dropping everything that we understood and knew because we had ambitions, we had things that we wanted to do in the world and accomplish, and we dropped that to serve the Lord. So when you come into this truth, and every sister ain't gonna necessarily get a priest and get a man. Some may just want to just serve the brotherhood and serve their nation from a different angle, and that's fine. But for you sisters that are looking for a husband, for a man, the way that we come in to serve the Lord is the way that you should come in to want to serve that man. And like I said, not like a Christian. Not with what you come up with, what's in your head, in your imagination. It's what He tells you. The modern woman today says things like, well, I bring a table and I bring the food to eat. I bring a lot. I don't just bring a lot to the table. I bring the table and the plates and the meal. I'm not a snack. I'm a 5-course meal. All these little sayings and stuff, man. When you can't even shut your goddamn mouth. And I hate to be, that direct and harsh with it, but it's the truth. When we come into this truth and we have to dress in all black, we have to be quiet as men. We have to learn silence. Why? Sisters, any of y'all, do any sisters that are in the class have an idea about why the men have to learn to shut their mouths? I'll wait. I'm not in a rush. I don't know how many we got up in here right now. And brothers, you can answer that too if you want to. If you want to jump in, this is really for the sisters, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. We got anything? We got to wait a little bit. Why do y'all feel like that? As for the men, we have to learn silence. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we have nothing to say. You cannot come into this with a full cup, man. You have to pour out your cup. If I say that I'm coming to the truth, that means that everything that I lived prior to this was a lie.
Right.
A lie. The scriptures say, be not wise in thine own eyes, but depart from evil. We'll get there. But to depart from evil. And a lot of us don't know what evil is. We think evil is, these things are evil. We think evil is like the harsh things, murder, child molestation, abortion. Even some of us feel like interracial relationships are evil, and they are. But you know what else is evil? Pride. You know what else is evil? Selfish ambition. That's evil. So sisters, when you come into this truth, when you say that you say, I'm not gonna submit to a man unless he's righteous and he leads me. If he's leading me, I hear y'all sisters say that, but to me, I don't buy it. It's bullshit. Excuse my language. It's bullshit. You understand? Because I know what you mean when you say that. I'm only going to submit to a righteous man. What you mean is what you feel righteousness is. Is your definition of it. Because why do you have all these other relationships? Why do you have children with these men who were not that? Because the moment you get with a man who lives by a standard, who has integrity, who's not going to compromise, what comes out of your mouth? Oh, he's too controlling. Oh, I'm the one that has to follow all these rules, but he can go out here and do what he want to do. I can't do what I want to do. Do you know how many of us gave up smoking weed? How many of us gave up sleeping, making whores out of the daughters of Israel? How many of us gave up taking revenge and holding grudges against our brothers? We're not doing what we want to do. What, because the scriptures say that we can have more than one woman? If that means we're doing what we want to do? As if that's some type of benefit. Y'all so vain. Y'all think us having more than one woman is some type of gain. It's stress. Because we know who we dealing with. We're not dealing with... Good night. Like I said, the sisters in the UPK, y'all are the rubies, man. You understand? Virtuous daughters of Commander General Johanna. But the culture that our people are coming out of, it doesn't make for no benefit to us to have to deal with rebellious, foolish, loud women. Because that's the bulk of our sisters, man. And I'm going to tell you like this. Solomon said it back. Solomon said it. He said, a virtuous woman who can find. She's like rubies. He wasn't saying it was one on every corner. It was even in that time period. In his time, it was difficult to find a woman who had discretion, who had integrity, who knew when to speak and how to speak, who knew how to respect and show honor to her husband or to her father. Our sisters are taking advice from everybody, from our oppressor, from their friends whose minds have been molded and shaped by their mothers, whose mothers' minds have been shaped and molded by the oppressor. Y'all sisters be in the multitude of counselors where there's no protection. The Bible says that in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Y'all take refuge in the counsel of foolish women. Having the little women groups and all that, which is fine if what's being said in there is correct. But ultimately, you should be seeking counsel from your Lord or from the men of the Lord if you don't have a husband. Because, within a group of women, what type of wisdom is going to come out of that? And I'm not saying that you guys are not. I'm not saying that women are not wise. What I'm saying is, in regards to dealing with men, what kind of wisdom can come out of it? You have to deal with that man to understand what you're dealing with. What can she tell you? But this is what we have right here in the garden. A sister, your foremother, Eve, who instead of going to her man, right, to receive every order, she's considering the counsel of a devil, of a serpent, of a snake, of a deceiver. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's get back to Genesis 3, man. All right.
Okay.
So you can start at verse 2.
Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 2. Mm-hmm. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Mm-hmm. Like the Lord did say that. The Lord told Adam that, right? Adam told her that. Keep going.
Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it.
Right.
Neither shall ye touch it, yet lest ye die.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die.
Right. You can put your husband out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna die. I'll give you a 6-figure salary. You're not gonna die. Put him. You ain't gotta have him in your house telling you what to do. You can have your job making your salary and you know have your house and have your car and go on your vacations. You'll be all right. A lot of sisters, man, listen, the ratio is, I believe it's like 4-to-1 or 5-to-1 as far as like the population of Black, Hispanic, and women to men. And y'all against men having multiple wives, but don't you know that if which we're not, in the UPK, we're not going to do that. We don't care about what y'all talking about. But even if, let's say if we took that on, right? Let's say we said, okay, each man going to have one wife and that settled y'all insecure, you know what I'm saying, hearts. I ain't got to worry about him being with nobody else or being in competition with no other woman, which ain't no competition, because if you concentrating on doing what your Lord wants, you ain't got to worry about that anyway. That's not even your concern. Your only focus and concern should be pleasing your Lord. That's it. What he goes off and does, that's none of your business. How you deal with him is your business. That's why we're told to mind our business, right? But let's say that we went with that, and every man every man had one woman. Don't you know that as far as the Black community and Hispanic community, it would be 2 million women without husbands? Did y'all know that? Salakia. 2 million women without husbands. You know, a lot of y'all who come against what the Lord, what the Lord said is lawful, y'all are just selfish. You don't even have not only do you not love the Black man, you don't even love your sister. Because it comes down to selfishness. You want to have what you want, but you want your sister to be out there unprotected and without guidance. Because protection ain't just about a man coming in and taking out a physical threat. Protection is a man teaching you these laws, statutes, and commandments and giving you guidance. But when we feel like in our head that, okay, yeah, he's telling me this, that, and the third, but I have my own mind too. The scriptures say that you're supposed to regard your husband as Christ. So for us, right, as men, in Proverbs 3, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding, but acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your paths. Sisters, you can use that for your husband. It's lawful. Trust in your outer one with all your heart, with all your mind. Lean not to your own understanding. Acknowledge your outer one in all your ways. Whenever you're about to get dressed, whenever you're on your slave and how you're speaking, whenever you're in front of, whenever you're after school, whenever you're with your family, how you're speaking to your children, what you're telling your children, acknowledge your outer one in all your ways, man. Consider, like, okay, would he want me to say this? How would he want me to go about saying this? I know we living in hell, and I know the pressures of hell it creates tension and stress. But one thing I can tell you is, man, you know, if you follow orders, if you follow the instructions of the authority that's been set above you by the Most High, you're going to succeed. But we keep feeling like we know better. In the back of our head, oh, he's just a man. He's just a man. He can mess up too. I mean, I know I get weak. He get weak too. I can't take everything he say like that. We don't take it like what's coming down from the authority above us is coming from the Lord. But the Lord take it like that. Because the instructions that you follow, the order that you follow, because you're gonna follow somebody's order. All this, I'm independent. I ain't gonna have no man tell me what to do. Sister, listen. You are definitely doing what some man is telling you to do, whether you understand it or not. It's just that he ain't up in your kitchen while you frying the chicken. But either it's Christ, you following Christ, which means you're following the black man, right? Or you following the white man. If you have your baby's father, right, or your ex-husband on child support, you are following a man. If you're calling the police on your baby's father, on your ex-husband, or your man, or your boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, we know. But if you sleeping with him, he's your husband. Sex is marriage to the Lord, okay? But I understand everybody doesn't know that. But if you're calling the police when you get into a confrontation or an altercation, you understand with your man, you are following another man. You are following the orders of another man. You're oppressor. This is why the Lord said, man, you can't serve two masters. You're going to love the one and hate the other. And right now, our sisters, they love their oppressor and they hate who the Lord chose. The Lord chose Adam. That was a black man. He chose Adam to rule. And a lot of our sisters don't want a black man to reign over them, to rule over them, man. They don't want that. So, like, you keep reading, man. Okay. Did you want to say anything?
A lot, sir.
Okay.
Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it.
So listen, man, clearly Adam did his job. He instructed his wife very well because she's reciting what she knows to be true. So he did his job. He gave her the instructions and he let her know what she's supposed to be doing, which is what the majority of black men do. But the question is, sisters, is do you have an issue with being commanded and ordered and instructed? A lot of y'all want to trade off. Well, I'll do it if he's doing this. You're wicked. That's wicked. Show me in the scriptures where the Lord said you can decide when to follow order based on what that person is doing. And then it's like it's so deep because your baby daddy wasn't on that type of time. But now all of a sudden that you didn't went through the hell that you didn't went through, now all of a sudden you're dictating how it goes. You didn't care back then. When that nigga was going upside your head, knocking your head in between the washer and dryer. But you stayed with him because of the Raja Allah was so good, right? You couldn't leave it alone. Now all of a sudden you want to dictate to the next man, to the man who submitted himself to serving the Lord. This kingdom that the Lord is setting up, right? And it can't be built off of confusion. It can't be built off of people who have selfish ambition, who are only trying to get what they want out of it. Some of y'all just want a warm body in your bed, or to be able to look at him in your house, walking around in your house. Ooh, that's my man. That's all you want. It's a bigger picture. We have daughters to raise. Because we're raising up sons to become priests. And what kind of daughters are we raising? To marry these young priests. Give me that Ezekiel 16 and 44. I want y'all to hear something, man. Because see, mothers, you know, a lot of the times, man, sisters, man, like, you know, they have slander about us, and they accuse us and say that we don't respect women, we beat women, we don't care what women think, we don't care. We say women can't teach. Women, we don't say that women can't teach. Women are teachers. The Lord made y'all to be teachers. You just can't teach men, and you can't teach in the school. Or you can't teach men in the school. But yes, women are teachers. When I was in school, I had women teachers. I'm talking about school in the world. I'm saying I had women teachers. I had women supervisors. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with a woman being in charge. If a woman has been educated on a subject, on a job, that's not wrong or evil that a woman has a position on a job. A lot of you fake Israelites are out there talking about that it's this woman is evil or out of order because she's your supervisor. Nigga, that's her job. What a woman cannot do is in our society, because Israel is the world. That's a separate society. Okay? I mean, you have women who are in the military who are lieutenants and have, you know, they have officer positions. They're majors and captains. All right? They hold various positions. You could be, a woman could be a doctor, a surgeon. You telling me that you won't let a woman do surgery on you if you got shot with a bullet and she knows how to extract the bullet and stitch you up properly and guide the nurses on how to get you right? You gonna say that she's out of order? Man, a lot of you brothers out there is kooky, man. In this society, in the world of Israel, in the school, usurping authority is a woman trying to teach the word of God to man. You understand? We have a sister in the school. I don't remember her name, but I think she's like a registered nurse. She puts out a lot of different information on, like lately she's been dealing with like keto diets and whatnot. But she's studying treatment for, I don't want to presume, but I think it's like geriatric. It's dealing with like older, our elders, older people, right? And she's studying like, I want to use the word holistic, but just not even alternative ways, but she's studying the various disciplines of treating a disease, you know what I'm saying, outside of like per se just medication. You think that she can't teach or speak on that? That's her profession. That's the discipline that she's studying in. She can teach that. She just can't teach these scriptures because the Lord said so. Okay? Women are definitely teachers, but you know who women are supposed to teach? The younger women, their daughters. Read that, man, in Ezekiel.
Come. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee.
Right.
Saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
Read that again.
Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
That's a fact. Mothers, the way that you are conducting yourself, your daughters are watching that, man. You're the example for your daughter. So you're the way that you conduct yourself, you're teaching your daughter right now. You're a teacher. But see, the sickness of our people right now is they feel like they actually, the world is upside down, man. Christ said that which man esteems, the Lord considers it like an abomination. And the things that man considers an abomination, the Lord, he esteems it. It's flipped around. The ambition of our women right now is to be a bad bitch. It's to be a boss bitch. Excuse my language, Salakia. Okay? Those are the ambitions of our sisters right now. Is to break out and do a busted challenge, a silhouette challenge. That's the kind of attention and praise that our sisters want. You ask them about being a mother. I don't want nothing coming in and like, messing up my body and cramping my style. Where are you heading? Where are you going? What, you think you're about to become Beyonce or something? Beyonce is a married woman. She has a husband. She has children that she's raising. What does she have? Like 3 now? Or 4? 3 or 4 children? What are you aspiring to? See, our oppressor has deceived our women, man. You feel like that you can have life outside of the black man. You feel like you can have a kingdom outside of the black man that the Lord put in authority. The kingdom belongs to Israel. Israel is the Lord's son, man. It's the flock of his pasture are men. There is no kingdom for you outside of the black man. And y'all need to understand that. You women, you sisters are getting upset about your men deciding on choosing other women. I don't like the reasons he's doing it. I feel like this, I feel like that. What you feel and think don't matter. It doesn't matter. At the root of it, it's selfishness, man. And it's insecurity. Because if you were concentrating on you being a helpmeet, if that was the only thing in your head, okay, you know what? How can I help him? Like, sisters, let me ask you a question. Do y'all ever ask yourself that? When you come into a situation, yeah, you got protocol, you got all that. No sweat. But you should be thinking to yourself, okay, in this situation, how can I help him? And I'm going to tell you like this. In the UPK, I've experienced it, man. I've experienced the sisters whose mindset is to help their brother, man. And I've seen for the sisters who have lords how they help their husbands. They bring honor to his name. The scriptures say that a virtuous wife is a crown to her husband. I believe that's like Proverbs 12:4, if I'm not mistaken. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. What does that mean? What does a crown represent? Anybody in the chat? What does a crown represent? Any responses? I don't know if it's a lag, you know what I mean? A severe delay. It could be that. A severe delay in the transmission. But I'm gonna hold off where we at on time. Okay, we good. I want to ask the sisters out there or the men, what does a crown represent? I'm not gonna move on until we get an answer in the chat. Okay, I see you, sis. She said royalty. That's correct. That's not what I'm looking for, but that's correct. It represents royalty. She put her glory. Well, sister, I'm gonna say the precept again. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. So what does a crown represent? And you're right, it is glory. I ain't gonna say it's her glory though. Is that what she put? Her glory? Yeah, I ain't gonna say it's her glory. Definitely honor. Don't leave sis hanging in there. Okay, brothers, y'all got anything? If we see a man with the crown, right? And I'm gonna give it to everybody. If we see a man with a crown on his head, what do we know about that man? What do we understand about him? If we see a man with a crown on his head, what do we understand about him? Go ahead, warrior.
He's a ruler.
He's a ruler. Exactly. And I appreciate all the responses too from the sisters in the chat. The water. You know what I mean? For y'all participation. Thank you. Say it again. What does it represent when the crown's on his head that he's a what?
That he's a ruler.
Sisters, don't y'all understand that when it says that a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, what that means is that when you are with your husband and you are virtuous, you are loyal, you are discreet, you are submissive, you are friendly, you are helpful, you are cooperative. Do you know what that means? You're showing everybody in the room that your Lord is a ruler. Why? Because he is ruling well over you. And you are a representation of that rulership. So you show everybody in the room, I'm his crown. Based on your conduct. Everybody can tell by looking at you, man, this brother is a ruler. He's a good brother. Just by your actions. Why? Because you are governing yourself according to what he has laid out for you, and you are following that. So like the sister said in there, it's not that it was a great answer, sister, but not her glory. You will become his glory. You understand? You are glorifying him. Listen, he don't even gotta be there. When you go to a family reunion, or you go take the kids to go see your mama, right, or your family, and they know, they like, oh, you with that nigga that's up in that coat. But they over there gossiping, talking bad about people, and acting, just acting, foolish. And you're there with exercising discretion. They trying to get in your business. You switching the subject. Hey, y'all need help with these green beans? Oh, you want some of this? You want some of these black eyed peas? Is there ham hocks in that? Yes. Well, he controlling what you eat now. He's over your diet. Girl, you being controlled. You need to get out there and break free and spread your wings and fly, girl. Come with us to the club. I mean, I'll come with y'all to the club. Girl, listen, yo, get that fuck'em dress. So I can't say that. Get that F-em dress on. Have them all out. Nah, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and just wear this. You are glorifying your husband. You are showing that he's a ruler. You are a crown unto him. Because listen, this is the thing about a crown. A crown retains what it is on its own. When anybody sees a crown, everybody knows what that is. It retains its value. It retains what it represents. It doesn't ever lose it. And then when it's sat on the head of somebody, it's like, oh man, he's the one. That's how you should conduct yourself, sisters, in that way. You know what I'm saying? And the heavy part about it is, man, is that we're fighting for crowns in this truth. I'm talking about us men. And I'm not saying we fight to get women, because we're not. We're fighting for a crown from Yahushua, Mashiach. We're fighting for crowns. You understand? And to choose a priest and prophet in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, sisters, you need to be of quality. You need to represent and be honorable, so that when you inquire after a brother, or if you're inquired after, that you make sure that you represent that brother in a way to where he is being honored. And I'm going to tell you, sister, something, man. A lot of times, man, the mistake that our women make is they seek to glorify themselves and honor themselves instead of seeking the honor that comes from God only, man. You understand? When I was speaking earlier about why are our women behaving the way that they're behaving, why are they acting how they're acting, is because they want glory. They want attention. They want to be praised. Give me that Proverbs 31, man. I don't know if it's like the last verse. It could be like, I think it's 31 verses in it. But basically, charm is deceitful. It starts off with that. We're gonna break that down. You know what I'm saying? And Sister Mariam said something powerful. You know what I mean? She said her works. Okay. The works that belong to a righteous woman, yeah, it's cooking the food, it's laboring, but sometimes it's just being silent. We underestimate silence. We underestimate silence. I'm not a woman. So I don't know I have no clue or idea what it is to be a woman. I don't know what goes on inside of y'all, right? Cause even my daughters, man, you know what I'm saying? Like my daughters, man, I be like today, and it happened today. My daughter came home from school, and I was like, going through the scriptures, and I'm on the couch, and she just came over to me, man. You know what I'm saying? And actually, to keep it 1,000 with you, she came to Caucasus first, and because I think I was off doing something else, she came to Caucasus first and was just going about her day, and she was just going. You know what I'm saying? My daughter Zoe, man, and then she came over to me, and she was just telling me about her day and this this little Edomite boy that was driving her crazy. You know what I'm saying? And she thought he was a psycho, and I was like, yo, did you? Because she told me he was doing this at her. I said, hey, that's what they do. They shoot the schools up. I was like, did you report that? She's like, I did. He had to go sit in whatever they call their little in-class detention stuff, whatever. I was like, yeah, tell, because then white boys will come back and do some stuff. But she started just talking to me, man, and just talking to me. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like men, we're not really like that. When we go through things, we get quiet. We get quiet, and because we're processing. We're processing because men, we have emotions too, but sometimes they can be linked to violence. Like we want to hurt something, you know what I mean? So we get quiet to process, because we also know that being emotional doesn't really help us make the right decisions. So while she was talking to me, man, I'm thinking to myself, like, what's the need that she has to dump all this out? You know what I'm saying? So, but sisters, and that's fine, because she's a young girl. You know what I'm saying? I let her speak to me and get it all. I'm like, okay, what else happened? I let her get it all out. But I'm saying this for the sisters that are developed. You know what I'm saying? Past their flower. You know what I'm saying? Of their age, and I ain't talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally, blossomed in the mind. In the truth. Okay. Men prize silence. Sometimes we want to communicate. Sometimes we want to hear from you and like, what's, what I mean? Because some of y'all could be a little too quiet. Some of y'all could be a little too quiet sometimes. And I don't look. Everybody thinking like, oh, now you complaining, nigga. First we need to be silent. Now we too silent. Which one is it? Okay, you got it. I'm gonna leave it alone. But don't take the silence. Don't get offended by that. That's us. Like, if we sitting there like in thought and you come and sit by us and you silent too, I'm gonna tell y'all sister something, man. Y'all can accomplish so much more with your femininity. You know what I mean? You can do a lot without saying a lot. Of course, listen, I don't want to ever put it into y'all heads that we are called as even as your brothers, or whoever the leader of your camp is, your school is. We're called to give an ear, to give counsel. That's our job. And whatever you're dealing with and going through, you need to have someone that is in righteous leadership to be able to go and speak to get your situation sorted out. That's essential, man. Counsel is essential. There's, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety, right? But when you're dealing with your man, you don't want, when he first come through that door, you just dump on him. Everything that you've been thinking about and dealing with. Oh, this bitch at my job, this girl, she you know what I mean? I don't know who she thinks she playing with. And I had a recipe I wanted to make today. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but there's a time and a place, man. And we value a woman that has discretion, that knows when to speak and how to speak. When you're dealing with a man, ask yourself the question, whether it's your brother who you're helping the brothers in the school, or it's your Lord. Ask yourself, how am I helping him? How can I help him better? What things can I do to help him? And don't be afraid to ask. Like, sometimes, man, like we come into situations with our ego and we feel like we don't want to look a certain kind of way. We don't want to look like foolish or stupid. But there's nothing wrong with you going to a man and saying, did you like what I cooked last night? Could I have done that better? Because I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of men, I don't know about men in UPK because, you know, we try to have our speech be, you know, graced and seasoned with salt. But a lot of men are afraid to speak to women because they don't want to have a situation where there's offense. You know what I mean? A lot of times sisters be like, well, so I spent all that time in the kitchen cooking for you 4 hours and you don't like it, no sweat. I mean, you know, there's a man out there that will appreciate it. That type of energy, that kind of attitude. It's like, okay, then I ain't gonna say nothing. And I was gonna give me another one who will ask me what I like. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid. The Bible says to do good and communicate. Sometimes a man might, because also too, we not really, like, we kind of like, man, look, bro, a brother have an air mattress in his room and a little TV and be good to go. Sometimes we just like, okay, I'm hungry, I'll eat, is whatever. But if you really care about what he prefers, then talk to him. Speak to him. Stop listening to the oppressor. Stop listening to who the oppressor has indoctrinated. You know, the Steve Harveys, you know, think like a man, act like a woman. How does that even work?
Right.
How does that even work? Think like a man, act like a woman. That's the serpent. And we know he's a coon. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what stand-up that was where he was like, if they pay me $8 million and told me I act like a gorilla, I'm going to be... He has no integrity. He has no integrity. He doesn't stand for anything. So what kind of counsel can you get from a man like that? That has sold his soul for mammon, for the riches of this hell. You understand what I'm saying? So sisters, I'm just saying that a lot of times we're seeking, our women are seeking counsel from, instead of just going to their man and having that conversation. Like, you know, you can sit there with him, he's quiet, 15 minutes, and I'm tell you, a man gonna be like this. A man gonna be surprised. If you just sit by him and not even on some like pawn on him and pawn like, where he's like, oh God, what's up, right? If you just sitting there with him, just chilling, you know, and he gonna be sitting there. You let him sit there in this silence for a second. Once he get done processing, he gonna be like, babe, what's up? What's going on with you? Nothing. Just glad you're home. See, that make a nigga feel good. Am I lying, brother? You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad you home. Damn, man, yeah, I'm glad I'm home too. I'm glad I'm here with you. Now his energy goes on to you. Then if you continue that submissiveness and that femininity and that cooperativeness, and you start to say, well, baby, is there anything I can do? Like, you know, I realize, you know, you've been dealing, what you need me to do? Is there something I can do? He may be like, nah, everything's Tawab. You good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can get a little something to eat, and then we can go, you know, tie fire. You know what I mean? Whatever. Salakia, okay? I'm just saying, like, it's a way that you can enter the situation with your man. Like, let me tell y'all something, man. Sisters is trying to, like, I see on Instagram a lot, and it's beautiful sisters, man, because, you know, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, y'all are the most beautiful creatures on the earth. There's no other nation of women that are as beautiful as you are. Okay, so I'm not even like, it's just disappointing to see these young sisters or middle-aged sisters, whatever, who are beautiful, showing their bodies to get that type of attention, man. You understand? Ruth was a sister, right, who, to put in the words of Captain Yatazak, went viral. Okay? She didn't go viral for showing her behind, though. She didn't go viral for trying to get attention and having a big mouth and talking crazy to men. She went viral because of her faith and determination to get a man. She had pick me energy. Because I see a lot of sisters who be trying to say this little phrase like, oh, she got that pick me energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she want to get chosen. Why don't you want to get chosen? Why don't you want to be picked? And I'm going to tell you something else, sisters. A lot of y'all be feeling like don't nobody want you. That's not true. That's not true. But you're not saying nothing either. A lot of y'all feel like, well, I'm not going to inquire because he ain't inquire after me. Girl, go ahead and inquire. So what if he's like, I'm good. And let me tell you something else. You never know what the reason is. And I'm going to tell you something else, sister. It could be a test. He could be like, nah, I'm good. To see how you react. Who knows? And maybe you don't want to deal with somebody who ain't sure and haven't made a decision. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this. there's nothing wrong with wanting to get chosen. Matthew 25, verse 1, man. You had 10 virgins, women of marriageable age. Make that clear. Okay? Who sat outside of a man's house waiting for him to come home in anticipation and with the goal of getting the Raja Allah. I think I'm about to get checked for that. Because I don't know if we almost. They were trying to. I'm not gonna say the rod, y'all, because I'm not. I think that's the rod of power. They were trying to get the rod. Let me just say that. Okay. 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. 5 came prepared to wait to make sure that they were there when the Lord came to become a wife, to become married, which we know what marriage is. Was you gonna say something, Warrior? Was you gonna say something? Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
If I could just to your point, like a lot of our sisters, they feel like a virtuous woman who cook for their man, cater to their man, take care of their man. They feel like that's pick me energy, but they'll go and do the crybaby challenge or the busted challenge, silhouette challenge. That's pick me energy too, but that's
for the wicked.
Right. That's you looking
Good
for.
Night,
wicked,
man. That's
brother.
a heavy point, Warrior. Good night. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I want you to finish.
That was it, sir.
Okay, no sweat. That's a powerful point, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got a whole bunch of brothers in the room tonight, but we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it popping up in here, man. But yeah. So sisters, don't listen, man. There's a way that you can assert yourself that's virtuous. You understand? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Because a lot of you sisters, man, y'all are like jewels. It's like them stones they be having in those museums. They have it behind the glass, and it's sitting there shining, and people walk by, and you thinking because you sitting there in that little velvet case that they just looking at me. Don't nobody want to get me. No, that's not true. That's not true. You understand? That's just not true. And I understand we humans, we have feelings, we have emotions, and I get it. It may be a long period of time where you haven't had, but listen, man, my point was that Ruth was remembered for how she got picked. She went to Boaz and laid at his feet, man, and covered his feet. She let it be known. She let it be known. She went and laid at his feet and covered his feet and showed that I'm completely submitted to you. You who I want to guide me and lead me. You can't function like when you was in the world and have that pride and be like, oh, I'm not finna say nothing. I ain't finna get embarrassed. You know what I mean? Okay. Just, your kids get grown. They get about the house. Now you in your 50s and 60s. And that's not to say that you can't get chosen, because I'm going to tell you like this. If you was in the world, you wouldn't get chose. In the UPK, the priests and prophets don't care about your age or about your waistline per se. You understand? In the world, it's going to be what's your dress size? What's your height? Right. How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself? How many kids do you have? In the UPK, you dealing with priests and prophets that's nothing to us. Nigga, one of my wives had 3 kids when I got with her. And I had her drop 3 for me. Salakia. And still want more. You understand? We're built different in this truth. But what I'm saying is that if Commander General Yohana has given us the tools to be real men, sisters, you need to take the tools that are being given to you to be real women. The women that honor the memory of your foremothers: Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, Rachel, Judith, Esther, Deborah, Elizabeth, Mary, Salakia, Mariam. Act like you know. If you know, then act like it. Okay? So, Salakia, you got that precept? I'm going to end with this precept. I know I've been all over the place. Salakia, I wish I was as seasoned as others. You know what I mean? We growing too. You understand? You got that precept in Proverbs?
Go on, sir.
Okay. This is a heavy precept, man. Sisters, I want you to key in on this, okay? Is there any questions in the chat?
Live, sir.
Okay. And Thawada to everybody who's participating in the chat. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Thawada, we appreciate y'all. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Favor is deceitful.
Favor is deceitful. The attention that these sisters are getting from doing the busted challenge, the silhouette challenge, or even if you have, you have a way of talking to men. So, because some sisters, I'm gonna be real with you, man. When I was in Jersey, I knew some sisters, man. I'm gonna tell you like this in Salakia. Let me be careful. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I ain't even gonna hold back, man. I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. In Jersey, the sisters, they wasn't necessarily like, they wasn't, 8s, 9s, and 10s in the face, but they acted like it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like physically, from the physical appearance, they didn't like, it wasn't like, Rihanna or I don't know, whoever y'all feel like is someone that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I just said her name. I'm not saying she got a big forehead, but I like big foreheads. That's just me. I like a big forehead on a woman. Anyways, they were like 5s. They were like 5s and 4s and things like that. But their confidence was like, they was like, and I used to be like, how you, but they were so confident. So it gained them favor because of how they moved. So it's like they were able to kind of get what they wanted just because of their energy. They didn't care about this. They cared about how they interacted with us as the men, right?
Right.
But now, so I'm saying they gained favor that way. But when the scriptures say that favor is deceitful, a lot of times sisters will take that and they'll use that to their advantage in different kinds of ways. You know what I'm saying? Taking advantage of men, scamming, whatever like that. Or they, you got sisters who like, they're getting attention. They know how to get the attention of men, but still, get the profit from it pretty much. Okay. No sweat, but that's deceitful because guess what? Over a period of time, people are going to, you're going to see what it is. All right. It's deceitful. And then you're getting what you want from men. There's nothing wrong with being cunning. There's a righteous way to be cunning. Esther was cunning. She was dealing with a heathen man, but marriage is marriage, right? But she was like, okay, this bastard Haman is trying to kill my people. If I go up into this throne room and the scepter has not been put out to me or I haven't been called for, I'm going to get killed. She took the risk of being killed, right? Put her life on the line, not selfish. And you know what's so deep about that, bro? And Purim's coming up, and I don't want to get too heavy into it, but that let me know, first of all, it said that she was chosen out of, I forget how many women were involved, but he had them get purified for 6 months. That means that they was going through baths and oil, saffron and myrrh and all this stuff, man, and getting their body cleansed and oiled every day and being taught etiquette. And out of all, it was a whole bunch of women, man. And he had women from all different provinces coming. So he had all the nations. And she was the most beautiful, right? What's deep about that is that when she was like, if I go into that room and he don't lower that scepter, I'm going to get killed. She didn't even have confidence in his love for her. Think about the level of fear that she had. She's looking like, she's not even saying, oh, I know he's going to lower that scepter for me. I know he's going to, when I come up in there, it's going to be like, come here, boo. I know he calling for me. She had no confidence, man. She was like, he could kill me. He could reject me and be like, yo, have her killed. You understand? So that lets you know that as beautiful as she was, as much favor as she had with him, she was humble. Because favor can be deceitful. One day you getting along and the next day is like, nah, I'm good. Favor is deceitful. Okay, keep reading.
Okay. And beauty is vain.
Beauty is vain. Why is beauty vain? Does anybody Sisters in the chat, why is beauty vain? I'm gonna wait. We got about, we still got a little time. Tell me why beauty is vain. For my sisters in the chat, the Aquathium. Damn right, sis. She said it fades. Oh, look, that's one body right there. Both sisters said it. It fades. Go ahead, Warrior.
Well, so like, if I could, just to that point,
Damn
like,
right.
you know, a lot of our sisters feel like beauty is, you know, they got to be false to be beautiful. They got to, get a fake lip injection, fake butt injection. They got to get,
true.
Certain type of surgery to be beautiful. They
Right.
got to, put in fake hair to be beautiful. Well, beauty is just,
Look, they all in one body. All the sisters, man. That's right. That's right, Keisha. Sister Mariam. I want to say her name right. Sister Salakia. Sister Alana. If I'm mispronouncing that, sis Salakia. But y'all are all correct. It fades over time, and men. Y'all sisters know y'all been told men are visual, and that's true. But even as I've noticed the change in me as a man as I've progressed in age. You understand? Like, the beauty doesn't impact me as much. It's the spirit of the sister. But I don't want to be corny either, though. Be like, oh, it's all about her character, and nah, man. Like, we looking too. Don't get it twisted. Right. Like, don't ever get it twisted. Be like, like, oh, it don't matter how my body looks. It's all about what's on the inside. No, man. No. It's not just that, but at the same time, that's not primary either, because if a woman is beautiful and she's a dragon, if she's hard to communicate with, she doesn't want to communicate humbly, she's not feminine, she has masculine energy, you know what I'm saying, trying to act like a dude, talking about, hey, what up, bro, what up? Like, I don't like that. That's some old kid tomboy stuff, man. I'm not saying, listen, man, I know a lot of you sisters is gangster. I know. But leave that for the heathen women. When you come into my space, be feminine. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Men don't even like. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love my brother, man, but it's like, come on, brother. Like, it's like, come on, man. Get out, man. Come on, man. That's what it's like. It's like, yo, man. Okay, man, back up, brother. You a little close. Like, we want to embrace. You know what I'm saying? A woman. We want to be able to take her in. And see, that's the thing about sisters, man. When they come off with that, I can take care of myself. Then why would a man want to take care of you? And I don't mean financially, okay? I'm talking about just as a man. Like, well, okay, then if you're good, then you're good. I'm not saying nothing. Okay, don't say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing either. Then no sweat. You're Tawab. Okay, you tough. Let's see how that works for you. But when you're feminine, when you drop your guard, that gives us something to come in and, you're giving us the space to do what a man does for a sister. Okay? So, Salaki, I'm getting off track. So, yeah, beauty is vain. Beauty fades over time. It's the character of the woman that lasts. Because I'm going to tell you something. At a certain point with all men, especially men of the Lord, no matter what, because things happen, man. Women have children. You have children. Your body changes because you have children. That's a part of life. I'm going to be real with you, man. Like, well, I ain't going to say all that, but okay. To me, I like a mother. I'll just say that. The look of a mother is very attractive. My wife, that's a mother, that's very attractive to me. A woman who is a mother, you know what I'm saying, or willing to be a mother. That type of energy, that I like that. Okay, and most men do, because it's a spirit. Because a good mother, a good wife is an unselfish mother, an unselfish wife, one that's thinking about, okay, I'm going to rear these children up in the truth. I'm going to rear these children up to respect their father. I'm going to respect my father in front of my children. I'm going to respect my husband in front of my children. I'm going to respect my husband in front of my family. I'm going to be myself, my personality, because you might be a person that's funny and crack jokes, right? But when it's time for business with the household, I'm handling my business. Men love that, okay? And then a man over a period of time, when he sees your cooperativeness, when he sees your submissiveness, when he sees your femininity, at that point, it's not even about the looks. It do fade away. It's like, man, that's my rib, man. That's my rib. You understand? There's a, I hate that word pride, but there's an honor in that. Like, man, like, yeah, she's solid, man. She's solid. You dig what I'm saying? But favor is deceitful, man. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But check this out. Go ahead.
Okay. But a woman that feareth the Lord,
Salaki, sir. Go ahead.
she shall be praised.
What does praise mean? A woman that fears the Lord. What is fearing the Lord? What is fearing the Lord? Give me Proverbs 1:7. What is fearing the Lord, man? A woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7.
Right?
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
It's the beginning of knowledge. Now the scriptures say that a foolish woman, this is a woman who has no knowledge, she's loud and clamorous. A woman who has no knowledge. So what is discretion? Discretion is knowledge. Okay? So if you fear God, it's the beginning of knowledge. You're going to have the knowledge to say, let me go ahead and close my mouth and listen. Well, I don't like what he said. I don't like how that sounded. I don't like how he phrased that. Kill that demon. Tell that demon to shut the hell up. You understand? Get some wisdom. Give me Proverbs 8:13. A woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Praised, to be recognized, to be acknowledged. In the same way that Ruth was acknowledged. The same way, because there's not a lot of women in the Bible that get remembered. I mean, if you think about all the stories and all the history of the scriptures, it's really a small percentage of women that were remembered. But what were they remembered for? Were they remembered for being loudmouths? Were they remembered for saying I'm independent? Were they remembered for doing their own thing and worrying about being what is the word? Taken advantage of? Or were they remembered for giving up their lives for their people and for their man? Sarah was in a crazy situation. Hey, and look, baby, listen. These Africans is going to kill me when they see you. Tell them you're my sister. Con on one con. Don't tell me in her head she wasn't like, this some bullshit. This nigga got me about to tell these Africans that I'm his sister. I know they're gonna try to get me. Listen, I ain't shit, Salaki. I ain't shit, but these Africans they been on me. I see how they look at me. She got put into Pharaoh's house, and Pharaoh, if it wasn't for the Lord, would have taken her down and humbled her. But she held on. She didn't break. Even though what Abraham did was ill-advised and it wasn't wise, she still rolled with her husband. That loyalty. She feared her Lord. You got that?
Okay, sir.
Salaki, go ahead.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
To hate evil, right? Well, what's evil?
Pride.
Pride. And that's what a lot of our sisters are dealing with right now, man, is pride. Maybe a small amount, maybe a great amount, but it's still pride. Pride. Pride is evil. Feeling like you don't need nobody. Feeling like you're not going to open up and be vulnerable and tell somebody how you feel. It's pride. Go ahead.
And arrogancy.
And arrogancy, man. A lot of our sisters are dealing with arrogance. I'm not going to be dealing with no... Listen, man. 85% of black men make between $40,000 and $50,000 a year, man. Okay. 8% make 6 figures. 1% make above that, like in the 500,000 up to $1 million. Okay, it's my black man. All right. We're about 40 million of the population in America. So if you count out half that are married, or well, we know that sex is marriage, so man got more than one wives. But just dealing with the regular public, if you cut out half of that and leave 20 million, that's less than 2% of men that make a certain amount of money. You have a lot of sisters out here that don't, because the white man, the serpent, gives our sisters these great jobs. Our sisters are going to college, right? Y'all are getting PhDs, bachelors, masters, but you're not getting a husband. You're getting the white man's education, you're getting a career, but you're not getting a husband, you're not getting a family. And you're getting older and older and older. You are having children with men randomly, right? And not staying with these men. And let me tell y'all another statistic that you guys may not know. Do you know in our community, the black brown community, that 82% of the divorces are initiated by the women? It's the women leaving the men. Men aren't leaving their marriages. Black men are not leaving black women. It's black women leaving black men because they feel like they're not being treated right. Or he cheated on me. Go ahead, Warrior.
Oh, Salaki, if I could, just to that point, like, I think our women forget that you can choose your husband, or you can choose your baby father according to, our oppressor. You don't have to just lay with any man. You can just wait until until you feel that standard of righteousness. And, you feel like a brother's worth submitting to. You can choose who you submit to. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That's all.
No, that's a fact. But see, my thing is this though, right? Sisters, y'all are out here leaving your men because you say that they cheated, right? And you go and get with another man, and then what happens? Oh, men are bad. He's cheating. And you leave him too. You're making yourself into a whore because you just don't want to accept the fact that a man is going to have other women.
Right.
And just be a helpmate to your man. You're gonna end up dying alone. Right now, you call your son your king and all this nonsense and treat him as if he's your man. That little boy is not your man. He's gonna get older, go out there and do his own thing, and you're gonna be left to yourself. I'm out to get personal. Okay? I'm gonna get personal. My mother, man. She was military, all right, and she was a go-getter. You know what I'm saying? I remember at one point she had like 3 jobs. She was in the military. She had a high rank, okay, for the branch that she was in. She had a high rank. She would do that. My mother used to go check. She used to go do inspections at the nuclear silos. Okay, like where they had like the nuclear missiles, she'd go and inspect the silos, okay? That's one of the things that she did. On top of that, she'd go, we had something on the military called a commissary. It's like a grocery store, okay? At night, she'd go and stock the groceries, and she had the worst part of it because I had to go help her. I was in school, but I had to go help her at night. She'd do it in the freezer, all right? So we had to go up in there and get the cold stuff out the freezer and then go store it in the little freezer sections. Man, I hated that, man. All right. I hate being cold. Okay. Anyways, and on top of that, she cleaned up like doctor's offices. So she had 3 jobs at one time. I remember, man, because she was just holding it down, man. My pop wasn't around. My mother told me, she used to tell me all the time, like, I don't need a man, right? And she would say that, but I respected my mother because of her drive and her tenacity, like to get it done. She didn't just sit on her back. She would go out there and make it happen. And she kind of put that in me to a degree. Okay. So fast forward as a man, I remember having a conversation with her and my aunt, man, my auntie, who also was in the military. You know what I'm saying? She was in a different branch and she achieved a high rank. And we're all up in, up in their room. And my mom was talking to my auntie, and she's like, "Yeah, I always idolized the Amazonian women who basically, you know what I'm saying, didn't need no man. They set up their community for themselves. I'm be real with you. My mother was the type, and Salaki, I'm keeping it 1,000 with y'all. My mother was the type, she'd be like, hey, go change my tire. I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm gonna get to it. If I waited over 5 minutes to do what she said, she was out there with the jack changing the tire herself. That was my mother's spirit, man. Like real talk, okay? So they're having this conversation, and she's like, yeah, you know, I always want to be an Amazon woman and never and not ever need a man. You know what I'm saying? And my aunt's like, damn right. So then I was like, well, you achieved it. Are you happy? 'Cause my mother doesn't have a husband. Neither does my aunt. I was like, well, you achieved that. Are you happy? They both looked at me like, and my aunt threw a shoe at me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I ducked the shoe. I'm just saying, y'all just, because they were talking as if it was like something to be proud of. They were talking like it was a praiseworthy thing that they didn't have to have a man to help them. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, that's the lie of our oppressor, man. It's the lie of the serpent. When the serpent was dealing with Eve in that garden and he tempted her, or he was deceiving her, it was to make her feel that she could become a god herself, to make her feel that she had power outside of her power, which was her authority that the Lord set over her, which was the black man. And that's the same lie that is being taught to our women today, man, our sisters today. You understand? And what I'm trying to convey, you know what I'm saying, what Commander General Yohana, the ISUPK, the priests and prophets, the generals, the captains, the officers are trying to let our people know is that we cannot do this outside of what has been prescribed in the laws, statutes, and commandments, man.
Right.
You understand? There is a order. There is a structure, okay? Christ is over every man. Man is over the woman. God is over Christ. That is the order, man. Okay? We need each other. Okay? That Amazon crap, listen, I ain't never seen no Amazon society. I know they had it on TV. I don't know if it ever really existed in life, because I'm going to tell you this. A man's hands are 17 times stronger than a woman. You understand? Like, men have subdued the environment to a point to where women feel like they can live without a man. But if we dropped y'all off in the wilderness, what could y'all do? Y'all don't even have the hand strength to change your environment. You understand what I'm trying to say? Y'all don't even have the physical strength to survive and hunt and change the environment. They could drop us off in Most High Christ and Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai and Thawada Yahweh Yahweh Shai for Commander General Yohana and for Hebrew Academy. You understand? For keeping the culture of raising up mighty warriors. But my point is, even the average man can survive longer than a group of women in a wild environment. But the serpent, the oppressor, the white man who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, has put it into our sisters' heads that because they're in this so-called civilized society that we have broken down and civilized, that you can exist without us. They've put that lie in your head. And you can't. And so because you can't, it will behoove you, it would be helpful for you to learn how to be in order, man. To learn how to conform to either the men in your school or to your husband, man. To your Lord. Did you want to say something, Warrior?
Just
no,
briefly,
go ahead.
Like, just to your point, like, you know, our women are not happy unless they have, you know, you can't be happy unless you have a man to, you know, rule and guide and protect you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you say your aunt threw a shoe at you because you asked, you know, if they was happy, if they, you know, because they fulfilled they, you know,
achieved what they said that they thought they achieved. Right. But that just goes to show you that they're talking that from a vain place. It's not really what the desire of their heart. What they really want on the inside is just tough talk. Sisters, you don't need to be tough. You need to be feminine. You need to be women, man. You need to be vulnerable and allow for a man to come in and to protect you. But, you know what I'm saying? I think we didn't win over our time. I want to say the water to everybody that was in the class that endured with us, you know what I'm saying? To the sisters, listen, you know, Salakia, the Lord is not the author of confusion. You know what I'm saying? His order is there for a reason, man. And listen, the wicked are in authority. So, you know, they putting out a lot of, like I said, Captain Kahan said that death gives you a lot of choices, man, but life don't. That's why wide is the path that leads to destruction, because it's a lot of different lanes. You know what I'm saying? On that narrow path, man, it's only one way. And a lot of us don't want to accept the fact that it's only one way. We want it to be another way. But the way for us, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, is in these scriptures. It's in these laws. And it's law for our women to be under the rulership of black men. It's the law. Last precept. Give me that 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. You know what I'm saying? It's law. This ain't something that we coming up with, because a lot of sisters be like, oh, y'all just using the scriptures in the Bible to try to oppress us women and stuff. We're not oppressing y'all, man. Okay, if anything, y'all oppress. Well, Salakia, some of y'all are allowing the white man to use you to oppress us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a fact. We're not oppressing y'all, man. You know why y'all feel like we oppressing y'all? Well, y'all left me with these babies y'all gave us. That's not oppression. If you want your man to be in the home, then be a woman who can have a man in the home, that where a man wants to be there. You understand? We not listen, man. Look, I'm gonna keep it light. Yeah, you got that?
Common concept.
No. If you want to say something, go ahead.
It's like, if I could just briefly, like, again, you can choose your husband, who you submit to. So for brothers, not trying to have children or not willing to be there for his children, you can choose not to lay with that brother and become that brother's husband or become that brother's wife. But
my thing is this, right? And what he said is true. But my thing is this: no matter who you choose, you need to make sure that you're in a mind frame that's suitable for that man. And when I say that man, I don't mean that particular man. I mean, you need to be in a mind frame that's suitable to a man.
Right.
You understand? Right. He's right. You can choose who your Lord is going to be, but that shouldn't change the mind frame that you have in terms of being feminine, submissive, friendly, and cooperative. You understand? And willing to be flexible. And I don't just mean in the marriage bed. I'm talking about flexible in your psychology, in the way that you've been thinking, being teachable. That's what I mean when I say flexible. That's a better word I should have used. Being teachable, able to be taught, open to correction without being offended and taking it personally and getting emotional. And I understand, like I said, we have to unlearn the things that we've been taught, and it's a process. But those are, if you don't have an Autawan, those are things that you should be concentrating and working on. Okay, you got that precept?
Come on. It's the book of 1 Corinthians.
Just read 34, Salaki. Go ahead.
Chapter 14, verse 34.
Oh, start at verse 33, Salaki.
Come on. Verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
Confusion just means disorder. The Lord is not the author of disorder. Okay, that's why He put the black man in the garden, to order it. Go ahead.
But of peace.
Of peace. Peace. Listen, man. What a black man desires the most in his home is peace.
Right.
Okay? And if there's no peace there, children or not, he's going to leave. So you shouldn't say, oh, he shouldn't leave his children. You should be a woman or a wife that says, I'm going to create such an environment that he will not ever want to leave.
Right.
Okay? And if he does leave, not to leave for good, but to leave to go do the Lord's work, I'm going to make sure that he can't wait to get back here from being at war.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
Come. As in all churches of the saints.
Right.
Verse 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
All this means is that, because we know, right, that in ISUPK, in the schools, women ask questions. Women speak. We're not telling women to shut up in the schools, are we? So what is this talking about? What is the only thing that women, if we know that in our schools that women can speak and ask questions, right? What is this talking about then? What does this mean? What it means is that the only thing that women you don't see women doing in the school, in our schools, is what? Is teaching.
Right.
Because that authority was given to us by the Most High, to the men. That's what this is talking about, okay? It doesn't mean that women can't express themselves and express their feelings. It means that you are not authorized to teach. All right? Keep reading.
Come. For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Right.
But they are commanded.
They are what?
They are commanded.
Okay.
To be under obedience.
To be under obedience. As what?
As also saith the law.
As also saith the law. Okay? And where does it say that in the law? In Genesis, where he tells Eve, the Lord tells Eve, that he shall have rule over you. It's the law. Okay? And this is the ISUPK Killeen Wednesday night law class. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go have Trooper Caucasai read the announcements. You got to stand up and read, bro. It's a lot.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Mm-hmm. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and in Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of the teacher. The priest fund is a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. It's whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have Purim on the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. We found in Esther chapter 9 verses 20 through 31. We also have the 52nd annual Passover on the 14th day of the first month. Can be found in Exodus chapter 12 verses 1 through 51. Leviticus chapter 23 verses 4 and 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7 and 8. And 2 Chronicles chapter 30 verse 17. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boot, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And this includes ISUPK security announcements.
All right. So I want to go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the brethren. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yashar Brakatham, and to the sisters. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Latham Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is ISUPK Killeen. You understand? Also, for everybody, you know what I mean, across the nation, in Texas, you know what I mean, April 24th, like you said, is the Passover at the B&H Ranch, you know what I'm saying, on Player Street in Houston, Texas. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are invited to the Lord's 52nd Passover. You understand? It's going to be a beautiful time of us gathering together and celebrating the destruction of our enemies, man.
Right.
You understand? And the victory that the Lord gave us, man. You know what I'm saying? And soon to give us here in this captivity, in this hell as well. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get the information to come out. If you're not subscribed to the ISUPK Killeen page, please subscribe. If you got any questions, hit us in the inbox. And you know what I mean, we'll address you in order. Trying to think what else. Oh yeah, for everybody in Texas, man, we're having the Feast of Purim at the school in Houston at 7701. I'll say it's Broadway. You know what I'm saying? Houston, Texas. Y'all come out, man, for that as well, man. We're discussing Purim, which is, you know what I'm saying, the celebration of the victory over our enemies. But, you know what I mean, also, you know what I mean, the heroine or the sister that, you know what I mean, that was a major and vital part of that, Esther. You know what I mean? And learn about her contributions, man. You know what I mean? You know, basically to where, man, you know what I'm saying, like she didn't get, you know what I mean, the attention and the recognition for likes. You know what I mean? She got it for you know what I mean, for life. You know what I'm saying? It was a life or death situation, and she got recognized for choosing death but bringing life to her people. So, you know what I'm saying? It's important that we remember those righteous examples. But with that being said, man, you know what I'm saying?
Salakia.
Oh, go ahead.
It was 7701 Belford.
Salakia, Belford. I should know that. Salakia to my people. But with that being said, man, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, y'all.
Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Then keep it real with niggas, man. Most of y'all frauds. Leave like you frauds. Y'all pussy niggas gon' ride for your dog. Right at your man. I put the dagger right in his heart. I'm playing my part. Definitely I'm playing it smart. And if I don't get you, then I'm coming for your brother then. Or his mother then. It's kinda crazy revenge settling. Rape, sold, and murdered the natives when they was settling. Coming in out of the water that they was fishing in. I was raised in hell. It got dark when I was peddling. White man harassing the block when we was peddling. White man who also was the blood when we was peddling. I would never fraud if I was on David Letterman. This is UPK, ain't no Travis Shabazz. When the Christ come back, I'm right on your ass. Got the Johnny Walker in me, and I'm all in my bag. I'm on my Friday the 13th with the gun and the mask. Ha! Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night. Who's that creeping through my window? 40 on me like I'm Winslow. Hit that nigga with that act right. I was fighting wars day and night.
Hey yo, the car and nacho, fucking doing crazy like they destined on the flocko. Righteous from the block though, the beat I catch a ride, but I always miss my stop though. Beefing with my shorty till I stuck it in the taco. Who's that creeping through my window? I ain't with the complications, I'ma keep it simple. Burn all black, black Dickie to the Timbo. You gon' find exactly what you looking for in limbo. We gon' get it in though. Experience I live from 2036. I see my brother when it's been done. Every day I think about the trouble.